going to school means different things to different people. One of the critical components of the well-being of a child and the well-being of the family is their ability to work. Here to talk to us about how best families can access childcare and other resources is my dear friend, Nancy Maldonado, Chief Executive Officer at Chicano Federation. Welcome, Nancy.
Hi, thank you. And thank you for inviting me to speak today. So, you know, Chicano Federation is a little bit unique in the sense that we support not just families, but we also support childcare providers throughout the county, throughout San Diego County. And so, you know, as you know, childcare providers have remained open throughout this entire pandemic. And really, I just wanted to open by saying, you know, if we do have any childcare providers that are listening, to giving them all the credit for remaining open, for taking care of the children of our essential workforce, and for making sure that what little of our economy was able to be sustained was. They're really just unsung heroes throughout this pandemic. So really want to just recognize them and want to recognize all of the agencies that support family childcare and childcare across the county. So one of the questions that you know we get often is really what resources are available for essential workers, particularly. So here in San Diego County, we were really fortunate to have the county allocate resources that go directly to essential workers, and in the sense of giving them vouchers to be able to get childcare. So if there are any essential workers that are still in need of childcare, that is something that is available to them. And you know, in San Diego County, we're really fortunate to have really strong organizations to support childcare. And recently, actually today, it was just announced that there's another $25 million of CARES money that's going to go directly to support family childcare homes. Because as we all know, until schools open, we're really going to rely heavily on our family childcare homes and our childcare providers. Some other resources that are available locally, you know, our partners at the YMCA, they offer day camps, you know, for families that are working and need somewhere to send their children. And obviously they're taking all the precautions necessary to make sure that children are able to stay safe while their parents are working. And we, you know, on the slide deck that is up, we've included a couple of different links for different resources if you are here locally in San Diego County that are available to you if you need childcare or need to know what you can do to find additional resources for childcare. Next slide. There we go. And so there, you know, in terms of needing childcare, if you are an essential worker, CDA is still offering childcare assistance to those who qualify. So if you are an essential worker, please be sure to take care of that, or you know, to take advantage of that resource. And the other thing that I would say is to contact us. We're here to support you. And if you are local in San Diego County, if there's anything that we can do to help connect you to another organization who is offering childcare or anything related to childcare, please contact us. The information is on there. We've also included the links to a couple of our partners, including YMCA and CDA, so that you can get more information. But you know, if you aren't sure where to start, definitely contact us. We're a resource that's here to help anyone, even if you're not a family that's in our network or in any of our programs. We're definitely here to provide any information that we can. Another question that we also get is, you know, how can we support providers and distance learning? So one of the things that we, you know, when we're talking to providers, they're equally as nervous as we all are going into this distance learning, particularly because providers are having to care for children that are different ages and at different levels and at different schools. So one of the things that we would want to encourage parents to do if you are using a family childcare home or a childcare is, you know, keep an open mind, being flexible, and definitely being patient with your providers. They're juggling a lot, just like all of us. And to, you know, advice to parents is to set aside some time for you and your child to spend on distance learning, reviewing materials, and to the extent that you can, being involved and supportive of the child while embarking on the new challenges of distance learning. but also staying in constant communication with the provider. The childcare providers are doing, the absolute best that they can. And like I said, trying to juggle different children, different learning styles. And it's also important, obviously, as we all know, to know your child's cues and letting them go at their own pace. Working with the teachers on alternative activities. If distance learning isn't working for your child, there are alternative activities, and make sure that you know what those are, ask those questions. Here locally, San Diego County Office of Education has a partnership with KPBS where they have combined a broadcast that's available to children who are TK through 12th grade. So, knowing what those resources are and that are available to you. So again, we've included another useful link that can help to support that online learning and any questions that you have about how to support your child's online learning, especially if they are going to be in childcare. There we go. So another question that we get is about concerns about safety during COVID-19 and what providers are doing to ensure that your children are going to be safe in childcare. So providers have to abide by a whole set of regulations. I mean, including, daily surveys and temperature checks and screenings. So really, as a parent, it is you can ask about what the safety protocols are, but know that family childcare homes and childcare providers are having to abide by very strict regulations, and keeping your children safe is an absolute priority to them. Wearing masks, using hand sanitizers. I think it's also important to point out to parents that, this isn't a time where you can kind of walk your child into a daycare and hang out and say goodbye. That's something that I had the privilege of doing when my son was little, and this just isn't a time where we're able to do that as parents, and being understanding of that, right? That everybody's safety is the utmost priority. And so, that it's going to be a little bit different during this time, and the ability to kind of interact with your child or walk into the childcare home is different. So obviously safety is a concern to a lot of the parents that we work with. So in here, obviously we can't go through them all for the sake of time, but we've included a couple of links. One of them is, the childcare licensing, what childcare providers have to abide by and how they have to keep their family childcare home safe. So, feel free to go on there to learn about what the protocols are. And again, if you have any questions, we're always here to answer those. We have also included a link from the Office of Head Start that includes tips for keeping infants and toddlers safe at home, and then different ways that parents can support their child's development at home, and also how to promote learning within the home environment using stuff that you already have at home. And so I think I'll just end by echoing a lot of the sentiments that have already been expressed, and that just being patient with yourself and with your child. And if you are utilizing a family childcare home or sending your child to childcare, understanding that your childcare provider is also juggling a lot, and so being very patient and understanding with them as well during this time. That's this very difficult time for everybody.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It is clearly because of backbone organizations and trusted messengers and trusted partners in the community, like the Chicano Federation, that families have been able to navigate this just challenging time. And as we think about childcare as part and parcel of the well-being of children and families, we look to you and the leadership that you have taken on really as to support and guide conversations and support families through that process. So thank you so much for your leadership.